Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Heart of Christ Ministry. Yes, Heart of Christ Ministry. Hope all is fantastic today. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Hope your Monday is kicking off to an amazing start. I know if you're on the West Coast, holla to all those folks in Los Angeles. You are probably just getting up. If you're not up already, 7:12, 10:12 here on the East Coast. And I've pretty much already had a full day as we speak because I've been up since about 6:30. So happy about that. Anyway, hope you are doing well. Hope your life is as wonderful as you choose it to be. And if it isn't, guess what? We're going to do something about that today. And so very, very excited for you to join me here. And so I got some changes today that I want to implement that make it more tangibly transformative for everyone that's watching and benefiting from this content. And so we're going to get to that here in just a bit. What I want to do first is just to put this out here. My inner guidance says, you know what, you got to do it at the beginning and you got to do it at the end if it is to work. So I'm going to follow that. So first and foremost, guys, if you have any prayer, any sort of request, any sort of anything that you desire to write to Heart of Christ Ministry about, write to me, ShaunG04@gmail.com. I will stand in agreement for prayer. I will talk with you. I will correspond as quick as I can to help you in any capacity that I can. And I freely offer that to you. So use that to your advantage. And like I said, I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. But by all means, write to me. Let me know if there's something that you would want me to talk about, something you'd want me to implement, do more of. Just let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer that. So thank you for that. And then also, guys, if you have benefited from messages of the past and you're benefiting from this ministry altogether, you're feeling encouraged, you're feeling empowered, you're feeling like you can do what you set out to do because of what you're receiving from here, by all means, sow a seed, right? Let that kindness and generosity lead you to expressing that love energy as it relates to money. And you can sow a seed. VENMO, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04@gmail.com. Okay. And so if you decide to do that, thank you in advance. It is greatly appreciated. You are greatly appreciated. Your support, as always greatly appreciated. Okay. So before I get into today's message, I wanted to do something new today because I feel like I talked about this on yesterday's message, and I know that this is going to help out whoever is willing to play along in this game that I've created. And it's an amazing game, right? I just saw something outside. So beautiful out today. It's an amazing game because it helps you. It helps everybody to refocus their mind on a place of abundance. And the name of that game is Where's My Abundance? All right. So, okay, here we go. This is how this game works. You're up, you're at 'em, you're living your life. You are going to I'm going to set my clock, right, for 30 seconds, right? 3 different times, 30 seconds. I'm going to set my clock and you are going to look around you. You're going to look within your life. You're going to focus and you're going to say, where's my abundance? And a great example of abundance would be you're alive. You have a roof over your head. You got technology, right? You have clothes to wear. You got food to eat, right? You are safe. You know, there's oxygen, you can breathe. All these things are forms of abundance, but I want you to figure out where your abundance is. Okay, so 30 seconds, here we go, hit it, bam. You got 30 seconds. Where's your abundance? I'm going to see, love it. I can already see all this stuff around me, and I'm going to share a couple of mine. By all means, share yours in the comment section, because guess what? We all need to see what we are grateful for at every point in time, because if you're focusing on your abundance, 5 seconds, guess what? You're going to continue to get more abundance, right? And time, hit that time, 30 seconds is up. So what I discovered, I am very thankful for the equipment that I have, that I can come to you and be able to relay a message from my calling. I'm very grateful for the books that I've been able to purchase over time that have relayed wisdom to me. I'm very grateful for the plants in here that give off so much oxygen and beauty. And I'm very grateful for the pens that I have that I can write in my journal words of encouragement and words of excitement and words of just upliftment. That's what I'm grateful for. That's my abundance. Let me know where your abundance is. As a matter of fact, let's do this one more time. Okay. And then we'll move on. Right. So you've discovered some things here. Now look even harder to try and find where's my abundance, and go 30 seconds. Once again, look closely, right? Because sometimes it's as simple as my abundance is a clean floor that I can walk on that makes me feel more clarity in my life. My abundance is waking up and not having a headache. My abundance is, although, yes, my hand may hurt, but the rest of the parts on my body are healed, right? I'm focusing on what does work on my body, right? Where's my abundance? And 30 seconds is up. Once again, continue to dive into that. We're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to move on to the message. Why? Because this primes your mind to see abundance all throughout the day, to see what's actually there, as opposed to that stupid game we played. We didn't play, but we mentioned yesterday, what's not there, right? So we're going to do this one more time and think long and hard. Look around yourself, look into your life, whatever it may be, whatever is present and offering you some sort of value, acknowledge it, right? Not only acknowledge it, but be grateful for it. One more set, 30 seconds, set. Good, like we're working out here. We're working out the abundance muscles, and go. Okay. So think, focus, find. See, what this game does is shows you that there is so much to be grateful for, right? You can even be grateful for the COVID-19, because I can guarantee you, if you've embraced this virus for what it is, it has brought out greater character within you. And that is something to truly be grateful for. And that is a form of abundance, because it is growth, and growth is abundance time. All right. So if you found your abundance, if you found things to be grateful for, once again, write them in a message as we conclude today's game. And every day's game, I'm going to do this every single day, because guess what? Lives need to be changed and transformed. And you can transform that by focusing on what you're grateful for, by focusing on what's present, by focusing on what is abundant. Okay. Where's my abundance? Signing off. Hey, remember to leave your findings in the comments. If you so would, generously would, put that in the comments. We'd love to see what it is that you're grateful for. Doesn't matter if it's something that you think is simple or something that is huge. Whatever it is, share it, right? Because ultimately, people need to know how valuable everything in their life is, because sometimes we lose sight of it, right? And it can be as simple as the power going out and you're like, oh I miss electricity. That's one of the things I was grateful for, electricity, something simple like that, running water, something simple like that. You don't know how powerful it is until it's gone. Right. So with that being said, guys, let's move on into today's topic. Heart of Christ Ministry. Feel, express, open your emotions, and find unlimited happiness. And why do we need to find unlimited happiness? We need to find unlimited happiness because as we are happy, as we think happy, feel happy, be happy, life becomes happy. But there's the only way you can get to happiness, okay? The only way you can really get to happiness is by feeling into your emotions, feeling into your feelings, feeling into whatever is arising. So what I've done today is I have opened up a few questions that you can ask yourself and sit with yourself in order to feel what it is that's trying to emerge, right? Because happiness, you may have heard this before, is only just a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a state of existence that is completely and totally reliant on our perception. Where's my abundance, right? That game in itself can determine whether or not you're happy or sad. Just imagine if you would have said, where's my, what's missing? What if we play the game, what's missing? You would feel absolutely like crap right now because you'd be so focused on the negatives or the things that you don't have as opposed to being grateful for the things that you do have. And that's the exact opposite of happiness, right? Happiness is loving what you already have and that opening yourself up to bring in more. Okay. So when we think of feelings, we're always feeling something because we are vibrational beings as human beings, right? We feel all the time. Stuff is always creating feelings. Now, some feelings stick around so long they get embedded into that subconscious mind and we feel it even without even really knowing what we're feeling. But see, your job and your sole objective is to dive into those feelings every single opportunity that you get. Okay? Dive into those feelings every single opportunity that you get and pull them up, no matter what it is, right? And so I'll give you an example, right? But let's get into the first one we're talking about right here. What am I feeling? Okay, that is so simple. You open your eyes. As soon as you wake up, open your eyes. What am I feeling, right? And the trick is to be honest with yourself without being critical, right? Instead of saying stuff like, well, I feel like shit. Don't say that. Just say, you know what? I feel like I want to feel better. And then you lead yourself to knowing how to feel better because you ask the right question. See, happiness for every human being, for every individual, comes down to asking the right questions. So if I know something is off, let's say if I wake up and my foot's really sore or my back is really sore, I ask myself, what am I feeling? Because the moment that I express what I'm feeling, guess what? The emotion comes up with it, right? And if the emotion comes up with it, then it's going to release any stagnant, resonating energy that lies in my aura or my energy field. So this is powerful, but it's not really talked about because society knows if people aren't in touch with their emotions, they can be triggered by anything. They can be led to do anything because your emotion is directly correlated to your intuition, right? Your intuitive guidance, your GPS, your God provision system is related to you by your emotions, right? You feel certain things, that's your intuition telling you. But if all of that is stuck and blocked up, there's no way you can actually hear your intuition. So the first thing you say is, what am I feeling, right? Let's say I'm feeling soreness. Well, how can I feel better? How can I feel, not sore? We don't want to use a negative because the subconscious mind will still say, okay, I'm going to make you sore. But how can I feel flexible? And it'll give you an answer. Get up and move, right? Go stretch, do yoga, take a walk, right? Shake your body out. All of a sudden, you follow that. What am I feeling? Wow, I actually feel good now, right? Oh, subconscious mind, you feel good? Let me give you more of that. Keep at it. Keep with it, right? And so what we do with question number one is we continue to check in no matter what it is. Let's say we go into a meeting and we have a bit of an encounter. And I can remember when I was working, a few years back, and we would have these team meetings and they were the most hostile, just tense, uncomfortable experiences you could ever imagine. But I never expressed anything that I felt. And this was before I began to really start the process of diving into my emotions. I would just hold all that in. And the whole day I'd be walking around kind of like this tense. And it would just take something super small to trigger me because I wasn't expressing myself. Now, if I was in that situation now, what I would do is, okay, guys, I need like 10, 15 minutes. I go and I say, okay, what am I feeling? I'm feeling aggravated. I'm feeling annoyed. Okay. Why am I feeling annoyed? Because I feel like I didn't get a chance to express myself properly in a way because I just think there wasn't time. Okay. Well, what can I do to rectify that issue? Well, I can choose to speak up next time and decide to let this go and realize that it's only this time and there will always be a next time. Okay. How does that make you feel? That makes me feel better, right? So how do I feel happier? Feel happier knowing that from now on, I'm going to express myself regardless of anything. I'm going to do it in a constructive, loving way. Oh, what am I feeling? I feel good. So it's a process, right? You walk yourself through that process and you enable yourself to see all the time, what am I feeling? And you just be honest with yourself. And so before I move to number 2, keep in mind, this is not something that you have to go and blurt out to other people. Like, you can go sit with yourself and talk to yourself and ask, why am I feeling this way? Right? And that leads me to number 2. Why am I feeling this way? So this is really good because this is basically just mining, right, the well to see what may be stopping the water from coming up, right? Sometimes there's gunk. You know, we are so sensitive in the sense that we are repetitively, moment to moment, picking things up, right? Like, so behind my computer, there's books and I'm picking stuff up off of the books, right? Like in my peripheral vision, but I can notice that they're there. And then there's like plants, and then there's a big old window looking out and I can see birds and stuff like that. And so we're always picking things up, right? Always picking things up. The most important thing is to be sure that you're doing everything you can to wash away the stuff you don't need, right? And what's so great about your inner guidance, your emotional guidance, your intuition, is it wants you to let go of stuff that does not serve you. So a lot of times, and I've said this one time before, it was a while back, but I don't know if you ever heard it, but this is so important. Keep this in mind. There's only 2 emotions: in alignment with love, out of alignment with love. Okay? Most people think like there's only 2 dominant emotions and the other ones kind of fall under those 2 right there. But with that being said, your intuition always will alert you when you're in alignment with love and out of alignment with love. So let's look at it. Anxiety, stress, confusion, rejection, out of alignment with love. So those are going to feel like, a little off, right? In alignment with love is what? Peace, joy, ease, happiness, harmony, excitement. That's going to be in alignment with love. And your intuition will always let you know whether or not you are on point with love. It's programmed to do that. It's always programmed to bring you back to love by letting you know where you are, right? So when you ask the question, why am I feeling this way? Usually it says you're out of alignment with love. Okay, well, why am I out of alignment with love? Because you're feeling resentment towards an individual. Why am I feeling resentment? Because you felt like they did this. So by talking our way through these feelings, sometimes we get the opportunity to see how outlandish it was that we actually took on the emotion of being offended. But it's good because what it does is it frees you up from the knee-jerk reaction to just take things personally, right? If I ask myself, why did I really resent these people? Because I wasn't expressing my own truth, right? Looking back on it, I wasn't being true to myself. So it made me basically think I was resenting them when I was actually just resenting myself for not expressing my own truth. But see, I can't know that unless I dive into the feeling ocean of emotions, right? Why am I feeling this way? Dig into it, dive in, see what it comes up with, right? Okay. And then from there, it's like, What is this feeling attempting to reveal to me? Right? What is this feeling attempting to reveal to me? What does it have to say? Right? So you're either in alignment with love or you're out of alignment with love. But because we're trying to get you back in and we're focusing on unlimited happiness, what out of alignment with love sub emotion are you feeling? Right? And I can tell you, here's the honest to God's truth about any emotion you feel at any point in time. Alignment with love, out of alignment with love. It's all a perception of yourself. It all gets back to you. What you think you're feeling towards other people, you're actually feeling towards yourself, right? When you get mad at other people, you really get mad at yourself, right? That's all it is. So that's why it's so important to go in and see what it's revealing. And then sometimes it's as simple as you need to go a bit easier on yourself. You need to be less self-critical, right? You need to love yourself more. You need to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. So simple. And right then and there, when you find out what the feeling is attempting to reveal, there's this wave of emotion that was previously there that washes away from you. And it makes you feel lighter. It's like we talked about in the intro. Sorry, not the intro, the description. It makes you feel lighter because you're no longer carrying around resentment. You're no longer carrying around out of alignment emotions that become heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier the longer they stick to you. Right? See, that's the thing. When it comes down to stuff this powerful, there's no room to keep things in that do not belong there. Why? Because that stuff has to filter. Like your experience has to filter through those emotions. You ever come across an experience and you ask yourself, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Why did that happen? It's because it's filtering. This experience is filtering itself through your consciousness, which is filtering through those emotions that you're holding true in your being. So whenever I see something that's like, wait a minute, how in the world did this get into my existence? I dive within. And I say, what is this experience attempting to show me about myself? What am I feeling? Like, really just pick it apart, right? And open it up and open your heart, right? Because once you let go of the stuff that doesn't belong there, oh my gosh, you'll feel so much lighter. You'll feel so much happier. You'll feel so much more in tune with who you are in your body. And that's so very important. And then the last question is, how does this feeling contribute to my happiness? Okay, because that's what it really comes down to. You know, you can be so sad. You can be filled with grief, filled with disgust. And you can ask the question, how does this feeling contribute to my happiness? And a lot of times, you know what I got when I asked that? You're being opened up from a heart's perspective, right? You can't feel into your happiness the way you'd want to unless you've been able to see the other side of the spectrum, right? Because if you've had great sadness, great anger, great disappointment in your life, the opposite side of that is going to be so much more fulfilling and endearing, right? And that's usually what the universe is trying to do with us, especially early on in our lives. It becomes a situation of that being helping you to really see what it is you don't want, by continually giving it to you. And then finally, when you understand, you get the lesson, you get exposed to the happiness, and the happiness allows you to see what the real truth is. And the real truth is you being as happy as you possibly can be, right? Because that's what counts. But it can't happen unless you're asking the right questions as it relates to your feelings. Okay. So what I want you to do for me is I want you to put yourself into a place. I want you to take at least one time. Actually, no, not one time. Take at least 1 hour. If for every hour, check in with yourself. What am I feeling? Especially after an encounter with someone. See, this right here enables us to really see what we're picking up from life and what we're giving off is when we check in to see how we feel after we've had an interaction with someone, something, some environment. Really check in to see how you feel, right? And by doing that, you continue to strengthen your intuition, your connection to God. You continue to expand it in a capacity where it alerts you when something is off. It alerts you when you need to move on something. It alerts you when you need to move in a certain direction. It suggests things to you because it knows that you are putting in the time and the effort and the work to really allow the relationship between the two of you to grow, right? So you take an hour and you always ask, what am I feeling? And if you find something, that feels off, why am I feeling this way? What makes me feel this way? Right? And I'm telling you, it always comes back to you. It always comes back to you, right? Never think that somebody outside of you is going to be the cause of what you're feeling, because it's always on you. Everything outside of us is just an outpicturing of our consciousness within. Consciousness, dominant thoughts, feelings, and those actions that come from the dominant thoughts and feelings. Everybody is just a reflection of that, right? So when we get that, when we understand that ultimately our feelings dictate how happy we are, let's dive into them. Let's dive into them as quick as we can. But you know what? Go at your own pace, right? Go at your own pace, but do not be a victim. Do not be sabotaged by your own emotions because you're afraid to confront them, or you kind of just brush them off and thinking, especially for guys, that you have to be tough or you have to be, keep things in and keep things close to, your heart has been meant to expand completely wide open, right? And the only way that can happen is if we truly feel into whatever it is that emerges, right? Because what happens is when you begin to feel stuff, then your soul's like, okay, let's bring up more stuff. Let's get more stuff out of here, right? Until it gets to a point where you are a light being. You are buzzing and brimming with light because you're not carrying around any patches of darkness anymore. Simple enough, right? I'm telling you, it pays dividends. Like it may seem like a message that's not important, but I can tell you it's been one of the most important messages of my entire life, is how to process my own feelings and emotions to allow me to be happy enough to follow what I truly desire in life. And I desire the same for you. Okay? All right. That wraps up today's message, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to share, shoot me an email at ShaunG04@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you. Prayer requests as well are completely fine and wonderful. Feel free to write us, ShaunG04@gmail.com. Just like we talked about earlier in the beginning, if you find this content beneficial, if you find that this content is not only helping you, but helping anybody else around you, and that generosity and that love is rising up, and you want to transfer that energy into sowing a seed, by all means, do so today. at Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, ShaunG04 @gmail.com. Apple Pay upon requests, we can do that as well. And just remember, the seed that you sow continues to expand, not just in your own life, not just in the ministry, but in your own life as well. So be sure that, you take the time to do that, because it is important, not just for us here, but also for you. So thank you in advance for your kindness and generosity. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up today's message. Feel, express, open your emotions, and find unlimited happiness. You just got to talk to yourself, with yourself, allow your body to show you what it's feeling, allow yourself to experience what's emerging, and go from there. I promise you, when you do, you will find that you are much, much happier than you could have ever imagined, because you're actually working with your emotions as opposed to shoving them off or keeping them too close to your chest. With that being said, the presence of God in me blesses and honors the presence of God in you. I lift you up as I lift this ministry up, in hopes that you have a wonderful day, that you may be aware of your truth and the divine power that lies within you. Take care. Bye-bye.